Hi, this is Liz from Green Equanimity. Thank you very much for joining me again. Today is a bit of a shift gears from what I have put out so far. It's more just to have a one-on-one chat with you with things bopping around in my mind. So if you haven't noticed, in a lot of my descriptions, I talk about self-care and self-love. There's a reason for that. There's been a lot of things that has been going on over the last little while within the family and just with different ladies in my life, and I've had a chance to sit back and do a lot of reflection as to the whys. There's a couple girls, teen girls that are close to me, and they're each dealing with individual issues, and both of them are having a really hard time with themselves and accepting themselves for who they are, and constantly making comments that they're not skinny enough, they're not pretty enough, they're not good enough, they're not worthy enough. One, it almost feels like that's the self-talk that she's got going on. She's not pretty enough, her skin's not clear enough, she's not good enough, and she's going off and lying and hanging out with boys and doing things that really she doesn't need to do. She doesn't need to prove herself to other people. She doesn't need to get that type of validation from other people. And then I sat back and I started looking at myself, you know, because it's all well and good when you look at other people and you think all these, oh, she's so negative, or, you know, she's going through all these issues, you know, what are her parents like? But you know what? Both these girls are from very good families. And then I started to look at myself. So I've got a daughter, she's almost a year. And what do I want for her? And, you know, I can sit there and I can say, oh, my daughter's not going to be like this, or my daughter's not going to do that. But can I stop her? No. So how do I not instill in her or do things that would cause her to feel that way? And then I really started to think, and I wonder if a lot of it has to do with the voices that we make for them, what they learn, or how they perceive the world. And I think a lot of girls identify with themselves the same way they hear their mother deal with themselves and the way that they talk, because that's the example that you have. I look at what are the words that I say. I have for the longest time, like even when I was in my 20s and I was at the weight that is my current goal weight, I used to think, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough, my stomach's not flat enough. I've heard things now with, you know, I don't have a thigh gap. What the hell's a thigh gap? I know what it is, but why does it matter? Why does it matter? Why do we have to nitpick and find all these little things about ourselves that we can't accept? Why is that even okay? I think I'm, as far as physical weight, is the heaviest that I've ever been in my life. But that doesn't mean that I'm any less beautiful or any less worthy. I think over the last few years, I've allowed other things to take power in my life and to cause me to not be confident in myself and in my decisions. A lot of it stems from the way that we talk about ourselves or the way that we think about ourselves. So my promise through this, in the process, is to really try to practice positive self-talk. Because really, it's a positive experience. Anytime that you're trying to improve yourself, you should be excited, you should be happy, because it's making you healthier. It's not changing you. It's not making you any prettier or any more accepted by how people see you or how people perceive you. Now, I've done all this self-analysis and, okay, well, where did it come from? And I have to wonder if it's not something that we instill from mother to mother to mother, or the people that we have in our life that are our role models. How do they talk about themselves? How do they talk about the world? I want to talk a bit about my mom. And how she's been for me. She is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. Inside and out. She has the most beautiful eyes. That when she looks at you, she's really looking at you. And when she's listening to you, she's really listening to you. There's no ulterior motive with her. There's no judgment with her. She's just there. And she's present. And she's always been present. Any person that has ever met my mother has always thought that she is so special. And one of those rare people that you are lucky to meet in your lifetime. My mom said to me once that if I was lucky enough to have just one good friend, I was truly lucky indeed. I can say that that one person is her. What I wish, if I could wish anything, especially during this holiday season, I wish that she could see how truly special she is, how beautiful she is, just the way she is, every single part of her. Her programming, and I know where it came from, is her parents instilling in her that she needed to be perfect. Who ever said you need to be perfect in this world? What you need to be is your genuine, authentic self. So, if I could say anything, is I love you, Mom. And everyone out there, you need to love your mother, no matter what. Those are my thoughts today about self-care, is changing the words that we say about ourselves, because we are wonderful, beautiful, strong, individual people. We are perfect in our own right. You are perfect in your own right. And if you're going through this journey with me, if you decide that you're making life changes yourself, you are perfect doing it, making yourself better and stronger. You are giving yourself power. Anytime you negatively self-talk yourself, you are taking away your power. Anytime you negatively talk about yourself, you're also opening it up for other people to take that power away from you as well. And I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of allowing people to put me in a box, to tell me that I'm not important. But you know what? Until I start standing up and saying that I'm important, or that you start standing up and saying that you're important, nothing's going to change. That's what equanimity is all about. Is it looking at the chaos that's going around in your life and finding peace within. And that peace cannot be found until you accept who you are in the chaos. So those are my thoughts for the day. My 2 cents worth, take it what it is. Again, thank you very much for joining me, for taking or allowing me to take you along this ride with me. I appreciate for those that have subscribed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. If you like this video, hit like and share, of course, if you like the message. So again, thank you very much for subscribing. Click.